Hey y'all, welcome in and welcome back to a new video. Today, I have my hands full. I'm taking on a challenge. In a recent video I made on Temu, I said that it's kind of hard to do a cart declutter or talk yourself or somebody else out of buying stuff there because, or most especially when it's very cheap. When something costs $2, $1.50, $3, it's so easy to say, it's only $3, it's only $1. And it's super easy to throw all of this stuff into your cart, and decluttering it, taking out one or two items, doesn't decrease your cart total by all that much. You have to take out a lot to, decrease that number. The typical questions of, do you need this? Could you see yourself using this? Could you see yourself using this up to completion? That kind of stuff gets really old and really ineffective fast when you're talking about stuff that's like $2 or $3. So I'm going to do my best today to talk you out of buying super popular, super trendy Temu products. And there are so many videos out there who are hauling these viral / trendy products, and they're titled that way, like trying out viral products, trying out trendy products. So I have rounded up quite a bit of these super trendy, popular, cute aesthetic products, and I'm going to do my absolute best to try and talk you out of buying them today. We're going to get into it now, and we're going to start off with this. These are the cherry blossom coasters. The girlies love their pink aesthetic stuff. They're cute. That's probably the main reason that we're going to buy it, or that we're interested in buying it. But have you ever owned like clear plastic anything that will get dirty? Like the clear plastic turns yellow. I have owned plastic phone cases and at least one or two other, like a pouch, stuff like that. It will yellow over time and they become really hard to clean. Like it's very difficult to like unyellow something. So in a few years' time, these like clear plastic coasters are gonna look gross. You're not gonna want them anymore, and then you're gonna throw them out. And also because these are a mixture of different plastic types and colors, you very likely won't be able to recycle them. So this plastic is going to go into the garbage. And it's also very likely made of virgin plastic because it's cheaper than recycled plastic. This has a very narrow shelf life. Because these are plastic, they are going to like scar or mar. You can dent them, discolor them. They can get damaged fairly easy because it's not a sturdy material. And also, have you seen like coasters when they are nasty? Let me show you. She's not cute. Because this is ceramic, I have decided I'm going to paint over mine, which I'm like really excited about. You can't do that with these plastic ones. And also because they're light, they're going to, and clear, they're going to dirty and stain and get damaged way faster than other like colors and materials. Also, illustrated cherry blossoms are very specific aesthetic. Are you into cherry blossoms / like illustrated things right now? Do you have a track record of liking these kinds of products or this kind of style, I should say? Because like, will you even be interested in this aesthetic in a couple of years? Like, I'm not even thinking about 5 years down the line. I'm thinking about like 1 year's time or 2 years' time. Will you want that aesthetic long term? Coasters are one of those things that like people own for years. Like you can own them for 4 years because they're a functional thing. And it's usually something about the design that makes people not want to use them for that long. Or I should say that people will typically get rid of coasters for aesthetic reasons instead of functional reasons. All right, next up are humidifiers. I've seen humidifiers, different kinds. Like there's the ones I'm going to show on the screen are the most popular on Temu, like the most sold. But I've also seen ones that are like like mushrooms or rain clouds that like drizzle down. They are really cute. These are mini humidifiers, like desk humidifiers, portable ones. And I don't think people fully realize what they're getting into when they buy a humidifier. I'd like you to pause this video and go look at humidifier maintenance. Humidifiers should take distilled water. So you are going to have to go out of your way to buy distilled water to fill your humidifier with. And if you're saying, Sean, do I need distilled water? No, but the reason why you use distilled water is because most people's water is hard water. So you get like built up inside your products and then the products can break. This is also true of like steamers. Humidifiers can also be breeding grounds for mold and they need to be cleaned regularly. So if you're using distilled water, you can clean it less than if you're using hard water. I think it's the hard water that can contribute to mold buildup more quickly than if you're using distilled water. Either way, you have to clean this fairly regularly. And it's extra important to clean this regularly because if you have problematic things within your humidifier, like if there is mold in there, it's going to basically aerosolize and then it can go straight into your lungs. So any kind of nastiness that occurs inside your humidifier is extra problematic than other types of products. Like it's not just ingesting it, but it's like it goes straight into like your nose or your mouth, wherever you're breathing. And then the last thing is that I feel very strongly that like you want this because it's cute and because of the way it looks opposed to its functional value. And when that's the case, this is going to be something that you use for a few days, few weeks, few months, and then it's going to fall by the wayside. So number 3 are pen sets. And I have 2 different types. The first is this kind that has different like nib sizes. And then the other one is just like the same pen. So they're both packs of 10. 10 pens is so much. This is such a quantity thing. Like if you are already interested in buying pens, you already have stuff in your collection, in your hoard. If you're interested in pen packs, you very likely already have stuff you can use already. And then you're going to bring in 10 more stuff. When was the last time you finished a pen? And then you're going to bring in 10 more when they're the exact same pen. You better like that one because they're going to last you, like literally 10 pens are going to last you years. Unless you are journaling pages and pages every day, it'll still last you years, but you might be talking like 2 or 3 years instead of 9 or 10 years. And then the other one or the first one with the different nib sizes, this sounds practical because you get different essentially like ink weights or like writing weights. You don't need that much variety. Most people who are using this style of pen have preferences for their different weights. Like most people will like an extra fine or fine, like a 0.3 millimeter or 0.5 millimeter, 0.7 sometimes, depending on the item. Like you don't need all of the 10 weights. There are going to be some that are going to get used more than others, and then they're just going to be a waste. And then also these pens, like the ones with the different nibs, these are mostly used for outlining and drawing, sometimes for bullet journaling. Unless you are doing that thing regularly, you don't even need these kinds of markers. Like they're pens. They're just not going to get used. And even then, because these ones are, again, for outlining and drawing, you're going to use them at a slower rate than a traditional pen that like you could journal with. You're not going to be journaling with these pens. Like you don't journal with a micron. You journal with maybe a gel pen or like a regular pen. So these are going to go even slower. We're going to talk about like other stationery sets now. And there are so many large stationery sets, like 10 pack of washi tape, 100 pack of stickers, 200 packs of stickers. There's even washi sets with 20 tapes in them. You can be extra enticed by these because you feel like you're getting a great value. Oh my gosh, 20 washi tapes for $5. Like the deal is so incredible, you feel like you can't pass it up. You say that now until you get the 20 packs into your home, and then you realize just how long, how many years you're going to have to be using washi tape for. Like 20 washi tapes are years worth of washi tapes, even for avid journalers. This is the kind of thing where you get sick of them so fast, or perhaps like you bought them or wanted them with good intentions, then you realize just how much stuff it is. This is kind of a different thing, but similar. Back in university, I bought this 100 pack of empty greeting cards, or like just like note cards. I was a resident advisor, so I would give them out to students, but I also was like, if I want to like write cards or you're in a pinch, then I'll have some. I bought these 12 years ago and I still have them. This was bought with good intentions. I thought that like if I'm in a pinch, then, you know, so like you ever been invited somewhere last minute or you have to put it together a gift last minute? Yes, I've been there and they're useful for that, but not 100. I never needed 100 greeting cards. And I also think like designs and aesthetics have changed, that I think majority of them are ugly now, and I wouldn't have bought them, or I wouldn't buy them today. So I'm still using them. This can very much be you with your 20 washi tape or even 10 washi tapes. The aesthetics or your preferences can change before you even get a chance to use them. There was this set of 10 that I was very interested in, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's so nice and aesthetic to look at. But then when I like sat down and I was like, regardless of this price, if it was $1 or $100, like, let me just look at this thing aesthetically. You know, there are two of the like really large, like the thick washi tapes. I like the print on it, but I'm not going to use the thick washi tapes. And then all of the thin ones, like the regular size one, they're all blue and the same color of blue, even though the prints are different. And I think over time, it's going to feel like I'm using the same thing over and over again. Like I'm not, even though I'm not. They become functional dupes in a way. Like you're going to always feel like you're using the same thing. Your pages are always blue. I think one of this color would be nice, but not 10 of this color. And also when you buy these large packs of stuff, although it's cheap, like we can pay in other ways. We can pay in terms of space, time, and energy. You now have to find places to store these really large packs of stuff. And then also you have to take the time to use up all 20 of this stuff. And if none of those things are a worry to you, then perhaps you aren't even interested in actually using this thing. Okay, next up is what I think is the iconic toast light. All of the aesthetic unboxing girlies have the toast light. I can admit it's cute. It's a cute light. Okay? She's cute. We can acknowledge that. What is your lighting situation already like? Because I feel like most people already have the light situation. You either have overhead lights that you use or like the big light that you use. I know if you're like a big light or an overhead light, there's controversy there, but you have one of those things. Do you already have a desk lamp? If yes, you like functionally don't need more light. Like this to me, like when I've seen people haul it, it's like their second or third light. They might have like a wall mounted light, or they might have like a big desk light, like a study lamp, and now they want a second light, or they have a couple of these mini lights that they put on their desk that they are buying strictly because they think are cute and not because it provides any functional value. And in my opinion, I think that it's a little absurd to overconsume light, like lighting fixtures. You're ostensibly buying more illumination than you need, and you probably won't use these multiple lights together or at a time. I would also just like to say, that's my opinion, that we should be a little extra diligent about electronics and over-consuming electronics, because electronics, they can't be like recycled or repurposed as easily as other kinds of products because of the electrical components. And then also in putting them together, they often need like specialized materials or ingredients, sometimes like requiring mining. So no matter how cute this is, when it comes to its end of its life, even if it's made of plastic, electronics are difficult to recycle, and this will very often end up in a landfill. All right, aesthetic candles are next. I have a couple of examples like the strawberry candles or the like flower candles and also the like arcs. The strawberry candles are very cute, but they're so small, they're gonna burn so fast. And $10, and this is one of those things where I don't actually think this is that cheap. I mean, perhaps in comparison to like a Bath and Body Works candle, but you could also like go to Winners or Homestead. No, we're not gonna, this is a de-influencing video. I'm not going to suggest alternatives, but you're gonna burn through these little candles so fast. An average tea light for me lasts about 2 hours. You might get that with these candles. I don't know. I just kind of have a feeling that it's less because these look really small. The main reason why these candles appeal to folks or to you is the shape that they look like unburned. They are like an aesthetic decor item unburned. Candles, though, are a functional item. Their purpose is to be burned, either to like release a smell or to set an ambient. And so these candles, they lose their shape and they become unaesthetic when you start burning them. And then also, one thing I don't think people are fully considering with these kinds of candles is that they are not like in a pot or in a jar. They're loose. So you're going to have to burn these with care. And if you've never burnt candles without like a pot or a glass, then you might not realize how messy and not cute it is. So you're going to have to put this on like a dish or some kind of maybe like aluminum foil or something like that, which like does disrupt the aesthetics of it. Quite often people don't want to burn them and they want to have the, like they want to preserve the shape. Why did we buy the candle then if we don't want to use it? And then also because of the like waxy texture of candles, like dust is attracted to them. It's not a good time. Also, for the arched candle in specific, I don't know how this is going to burn. Like, how have they set up the wick in here? Is it 2 wicks or is it 1 wick that's a U? This one, I'm like, out of all of them, I'm like, you're suspect. Because even if there's like some fancy version out there of like a $50 version where they have 2 wicks and it burns great, you don't know how this wick is set up. And it could just be set up like a U or it could burn poorly. Also, how many candles do you already have? Girl, do you need another candle? So with these candles, you're going to be more inclined to hoard them than to use them. I'm going to encourage you to only buy things that you actually can see yourself using or want to use. Because then what's the point of buying them? All right, the cosmetic storage bins. I've seen quite a number of folks haul these and people put, their makeup and skincare in them. I think these are ginormous. Like when you see somebody hold them up or see them on like a counter or a desktop or wherever they're being stored, they're huge. They take up so much space regardless of where they're being put, whether it's a desk or counter, bedroom. They are countertops, they're surface eaters. That's what they are. The surfaces in our homes are precious resources. I don't know that you want this thing to be eating up your surface space. And you're also one of 2 people. You're either like the minimal aesthetic clean space. If that's the case, you put one of these things somewhere, it becomes the focal point. Like, do we really want our makeup storage systems to become the focal point of like a dresser or a desk or a bathroom? Probably not. Or your space is already like fairly cluttered, that this just clutters the space even more. I think that people like the way that this looks individually, but not so much what it will look like and function like in your own space. I think that this is going to be something that will be decluttered so quickly from people's lives once they realize how much space it takes up, but also how little this thing stores. People will say, wow, it's so big. There's so much space, But look at how this thing is designed. A lot of them, because there's multiple out there, they'll have like the storage compartments in the middle, but they're rounded. So there's wasted space on both sides of the drawer that you can't put things flush to like you would be able to if they were rectangles or squares. That's one thing. So you get the two drawers and then you get the pull-out top. Some of them come with extra storage on the side. And if there is extra storage on the side, again, these are more like triangular shapes, but not quite because they're rounded. Not a lot's going to fit there either. And then you have your tall products that will go up at the top. A lot of makeup products aren't tall. Maybe you'll have a setting spray that's tall or like the odd foundation bottle, but also foundation bottles aren't that tall. Not when you compare them to things like hairspray. This just isn't the system that I think you're thinking that it is. Also, our makeup and our skincare are evolving ecosystems, if you will. Our products change as we finish and acquire new ones. I just don't think this is a very flexible space. It's a very rigid system. Next up are the artificial tulips. A purchase like this often facilitates additional purchases or is part of a room makeover kick. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, what else can I buy to put in my room? What else can I buy? Let me throw this in the cart. That's one. Number two is that this can also facilitate additional purchases like more flowers or a vase. Or so I've seen some people like they want to buy a tray. So they'll buy a tray, then they'll buy a vase, then they'll buy the fake flowers, then they'll buy like these beads to go around the vase. It's a whole thing. This is a bit of the Diderot effect in action. I typically don't like to yuck somebody else's yum. This is like a potential exception. If you like the look of fake flowers, good for you. However, I do think that people don't realize just how fake flowers look or how these fake flowers look. They look fake. And especially when you're buying like really cheap fake flowers, they look really cheap, which is typically not the look that people are going for. People like fake flowers because they don't have the maintenance or they don't like the maintenance of real plants or, I'll say real plants. And, fake flowers or fake plants are the low maintenance version or the no maintenance version. So that's why people are interested in them. But they just look really fake and really cheap a lot of the time. And as I was mentioning, this is the type of thing that people like to purchase as part of like a room upgrade or like a room redecorating. And I just want to say, like, I see videos all the time, sometimes not even like temu videos, but like a study vlog, and people will say like they want cute things, so they use their stuff more or they use their space more, or like they're happier in their desk or in their room. And sure, it can play a bit of a difference, but generally speaking, newer stuff or more stuff is not going to make you appreciate your home more. It's not going to make you appreciate your job more or the work that you're doing more. Like if you don't like what you're studying or you don't really enjoy studying, having cuter pens is not really going to make a difference. Having tulips in the background is not really going to make a difference. Of course, there's always like exceptions and there's thresholds to stuff, but like generally speaking, that's not going to do it. And like, you're not going to get more work done in your office because you have tulips or because you have like cute new stationery. If it has an effect, it's going to be temporary. It's going to be very short-lived. There are other things that you can do to appreciate your job, your school, your life, your home more. Most often what happens is when you buy more stuff, you become more interested in buying more stuff. You start looking out for newer things. You start wanting newer things. Like that's part of how the Diderot effect happens when one purchase leads to another, because you start looking at other ways you can improve your space, improve your life, or the introduction of, one nicer thing makes other things look not as nice. They're not as new. They're not as shiny. And then, we look at our stuff with that less idealized version, or we look at our stuff and we compare and we don't appreciate it as much anymore. And then maybe we can even feel worse about our life, our job, or our schoolwork, or other things about. The last thing with the fake flowers is that they're not easily trimmed. they typically have like a metal wire or something in the middle. And so if you can cut through the plastic on the outside, there's usually something, in the middle that is equally hard to cut through. And they also look terrible after you cut them. So you need to be very careful about like the vase that you put them in, because they have to be as tall as the flowers. And that's like a hard thing to match up. And then if you don't have a vase that matches the height of your flowers and you're going to want a new vase, it can become a whole thing. Okay, a couple of quick ones. Glassware. Put it back. Put it down. Step away from the cart. You don't need more glassware. How many mugs, how many cups, how many travel mugs do you have at home? Tell me. Tell me how many you have. I know you have a lot. I know. And buying more is just going to mean that you're using your other glasses and mugs less. Like, you're only one person. You can only drink so much, so many beverages in a day. You can only use so many mugs in a day, or like before you do your wash. There are mugs and glasses that you enjoy right now. And if you buy and bring in new stuff, that kind of stuff falls by the wayside. It just becomes unused, and then it becomes clutter. And then you're going to have a full cupboard full of mugs and glasses that you don't use. The face washing wrist cuff things, this is a gimmick. You're going to use it for like 2 weeks or a month, a couple months, and then you're going to forget about it. This is absolutely something that you thought about and you're like, oh, it's cute, let me just add it into the cart. That like mindless throw in. If you do like genuinely think this would be a good idea, something that you would like, I would encourage you to try this with socks to see if you'll even like this thing as a concept. If you cut off the like if you get like a tube sock, right? That has like the long part on the ankle. If you cut off the foot, you just have the barrel. You can roll those up and put them on your wrist. You could try that out. See if you even like it. That might be enough to discourage you from even buying the full thing. And you also get to have that experience to develop some kind of track record with using them. The mini calendar. This like really surprises me as to how many people buy this. This is like the epitome of the impulse buy. The throw it in, it's cute, mindless, don't really think about it. And these are like really, really cheap. These are like $1. This is not functional. You can't write anything in it. You can't do anything with it except look at it. You have a phone with the calendar on it. Like you already have stuff that you can use already that you can look at. If you really feel like, Shauna, I absolutely need a calendar to look at, the paper calendar that's not on my phone. Take the one out of your planner, put it on your wall. You could draw one, cute design yourself, put it on your wall. Or you can print one and put it on your wall. You don't need to buy more like little cute things to put on your desk. They're just going to like take up space that you're probably going to forget about. This is something that there are like other things that you can use that you have already. I know it. And the other stuff is going to be like more creative, more fun, things that you can like actually create and do for yourself that are also more customizable. You could go into Canva and you could print something. Or you could put something on your desktop computer. So that way you don't have any like wall clutter or paper clutter, and it's on your desktop that you can look at. You log in and you look at it. You're not going to be able to write anything on it, but you also couldn't write anything on your paper calendar. And that way you don't have to buy anything and there's no clutter. I just solved the problem. I don't know. I feel like these are better solutions. All right. The erasable light board. This is cute. She's cute. She's cute. But there's one word for you. Fingerprints. Getting fingerprints on this thing is almost unavoidable. And then because it's backlit with the light, you see them like they are beacons in the night. This is going to annoy a lot of people. You're not going to be able to get like the fingerprints are way more prevalent than if this thing had no backlight. We've already talked about lights. It's like another way that you're illuminating your room that you don't actually need. And then you're gonna basically have fingerprints that are extra emphasized, which is annoying. Like you're gonna fall off using this so quick. This reminds me of the felt boards that had millennials by the freaking, like they had us by the neck. I never had one, but I always wanted one. And I was so jealous of all the girls who had them in their backgrounds. We love these. And how many millennials have their felt boards now? How many? Even YouTubers, like they've all been decluttered. You're going to think it's cute and like write cute little inspirational quotes or ideas on it. And then after a few months, you're going to forget about it. You're not going to use it. Or the fingerprints are going to piss you off so much, you're not going to want to use it either way. This will become obsolete in your life very quickly. The last thing to talk about is the plastic water bottle. I've seen these everywhere. The girlies are also buying the Stanley dupes on Temu, which maybe for another video. But these plastic water bottles, don't do it. Plastic is not insulating. So if you go like literally anywhere outside ever, your water is going to match the temperature of your environment very quickly. I talked recently about working at a summer camp for years with a plastic water bottle. I drank hot water every day for summers. Okay, it's not cute. It sucks. If you're going to be indoors, you don't need a water bottle. If you're working from home, you have glassware. I'm sure we're just talking about glassware. You have, I need to get more water, but my cup, you already have cups and glasses that you can use. Like you don't need more stuff. And this one in particular doesn't have like a screw top lid or anything that's going to keep this secure. It has like a little silicone stopper. That thing is going to lose suction over time. 100%. It's going to become less effective and less powerful. Also, it can like fall off and break. How many times I've had these kinds of things like fall off, like corkscrews, kind of like that. I've had those fall off before. And then it falls off and you're going to have absolutely no protection. And then your whole thing becomes obsolete. If it falls off or breaks, are you really going to buy a new silicone piece? Are you? I also think that you probably have a water bottle you could use already. Most likely if you do need one for going out purposes. And if you do need one for going out purposes, this is not it. This is not the plastic water bottle that will not insulate is not it. Also, these are 500 mils. I was expecting them to be much larger because 500 mils is the standard size of like a plastic recyclable water bottle, which are like, I don't know, like this big. And then this thing is like so long. So you don't need it. All right, that's it. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this de-influencing Temu video. If you're somebody who has been wanting to shop on Temu, if you're somebody who has shopped on Temu, maybe you want to stop, maybe you want to spend less money, let me know what you thought about my takes. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of video, thank you so much for watching, hanging out with me today. I would love if you would subscribe to catch more content basically every day in May. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I think there's another